Hello, today is the 14th of October 2023, and we'll talk about a very interesting contemporary architect, a German architect, Anna Heringer. Let's read a little bit about her. She was born actually on the 13th. We are today on the 14th. Anna Heringer, born on October 13th in 1977, is a German architect, a proponent of sustainable architecture. She has designed a number of notable buildings, including the METI Handmade School in Rudrapur, Bangladesh. Heringer grew up in Laufen, Bavaria, in the far south of Germany. She studied architecture at the University of Arts and Industrial Design in Linz, Austria, graduating in 2004. Her interest in Bangladesh began in 1997 when she spent a year carrying out voluntary work there, especially in the non-governmental organization Deepshika, where she learned about sustainable development work. There, she also founded her main thought about the most successful strategy, always obtained by trusting the already existing, readily available resources, and to make the best out of them instead of becoming dependent on external systems. She has since visited the country at least once a year. In 2004, after completing her university thesis, she wrote, "School, Handmade in Bangladesh." She began working, this was the name of her thesis, the school, the Handmade in Bangladesh. She began working on the project itself. After assisting with fundraising, she went on to implement her ideas at Rudrapur in the Dinajpur district of Bangladesh. With the official name of the METI Handmade School, the project was carried out with the assistance of members of the local community. They made use of mud and bamboo, the traditional building materials of the area. The school was completed in 2006 for the non-governmental organization Deepshika. Heringer's other projects include the nearby Deepshika Electrical Skill Improvement, a vocational training school for electricians, completed in 2008, and the Training Center for Sustainability in Marrakech, Morocco, built in 2010. Since 2004, Heringer has lectured widely, both in universities and at conferences, and has undertaken consultancy work. She now lives in Salzburg, Austria. Here she is, a very special architect, and we can only salute her because really she brings something very necessary, it is my belief, in architecture. She's not very tall, as you can see, but you don't need to be tall in order to conquer something. And that was proven by Napoleon too. So handmade architecture as a catalyst for development, Anna Heringer, UNESCO Chair for Earthen Architecture. Drawings. I like her drawings very much. They are sensitive and modest and to the point. And the buildings were built based on such drawings, which are also poetical. Not too many computers involved, maybe in this project, which was built in China, and is another example of the talent that Anna Heringer has. So what you see here, you'll see later in a description of a very interesting project she built, this one in China. So it is my opinion that you can be modest and build significantly in today's world. And maybe modesty is what we need the most. But modesty, it shouldn't be understood incorrectly. You can aspire towards the star and still be very modest. So this training center in Bangladesh is remarkable. And it is, in my opinion, a very uplifting architecture, even if it doesn't have chairs. But maybe the absence of chairs is one of its qualities. And look at the construction workers. Aren't they beautiful? They are not the stern, so-called professional construction workers. These are ladies dressed very poetically in high quality cotton, and helping at the construction site. And this is beautiful. These people built a good building without years of training and qualifications and signatures and committees deciding if you are to have the right to build or not. How come they can build like this? And you can see at the top, it's a structural system that is sound and is sensitive, and it was built by these unprofessional builders. Bravo to them, and bravo to Anna Heringer, who trusted them. I love this architecture. And this student here, studies with pleasure in this alcove where there is just a bed and him and some books. It's fine. You don't need concrete and high tech and all kinds of things in order to make sense on this earth. And I think Anna Heringer understood this. And these are the plans. I mean, this is the plan, and this is the elevation of the building. Anyone can draw such a building. Anyone can conceive such a building. Okay, you could say this is not the way to go towards civilization, high-end civilization. But what are the great virtues of high-end civilization? The climate change, pollution, the rising levels of the seas, the melting of the icebergs. Now the Handmade School. Look at this. Brilliant. A handmade school? Yes, a handmade school. Is it logical? Yes, it is. It is, imaginative? Yes, it is. Does it have color? Yes, it does have color. Does it use, local materials? Yes, it does use local materials. So it's possible. It's possible to do a humane, sensitive architecture with the simplest means. Look at it at night. Oh, how many schools in the so-called civilized world look so joyous at night? I don't think too many. And during the day as well. And look, she even provided this ludic space, which is not Cartesian, is not based on the supremacy of the right angle. It's curved, it's a curved space built with clay, and the children enjoy themselves there. So she also thought of the ludic aspects of life. It's not just study. It's also about playing and having pleasure in studying. And look at this, the site of where the school was built, the way it is represented, and the visualization is on probably on a textile, on a piece of fabric, because she did this, and we are going to see later examples where actually the plans, the drawings of the architecture she's building are inscribed in textile work. Very, very nice. Drawings that can be done by almost anyone, anywhere, with some colored pencils and some paper, yes. And it was built. And you see the ludic space that we saw those children staring at us from. That's it. That's here. How many schools in the so-called civilized world think of something like this? And also, please do not neglect the fact that the materials used to build this school are very warm. They are Earth. They are us, actually. So, if this would have been in concrete, I don't think the effect would have been the same. Even the plants love this building. Why shouldn't they? Because the building is them and they are the building, meaning they are both, belonging to nature, although the work was done by a human, by a lady architect, but and it uses geometry, but the materials come from the earth. Can you imagine the pride of the builders erecting this building? Look at them. Well, how many builders in today's world have this sense of adventure these young people have, contributing to the erection of the building? I don't think too many. No, these people work because they need the school, they need the building, it's built for them. And look at them, they struggle, but they are beautiful because it's an adventure for them. I think they have more joy in doing this than most students in architecture have in doing their projects. And look at this class. It doesn't have chairs. They are not parallel. They are not equidistant. They are not oriented towards a higher, table where sits a morose teacher, but they are in a circle, or the approximation of a circle. They face each other in a very democratic way without a center. I mean, okay, in this picture, the professor, the teacher is a little bit taller than the students, than the pupils. But otherwise, she's part of the chain, is part of the circle. And here the same. That's how education should be, actually, open and in a circle, and not facing, in only one sense, in only one direction, where sits the pharaoh, the professor, who knows everything, while the students don't know anything. It's not true. Very nice. I wish more classes would be like this in this world. Good work, Anna Heringer. Excellent work. And I like to imagine that the pupils go with pleasure to the school. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. And look at the little school, and with the ludic channel, or tube, which is here, and it's so sensitive from her that she thought of this aspect of her building. That the building shouldn't be just classrooms, and then a stern corridor. No, it should also have mystery, and should also have sensuality, and yes, should invite to playing. And textiles, beautifully blowing in the wind with great colors. No wonder she arrived at the Venice Biennial together with the textile workers here in this area. And we are going to see samples of their work at the Biennial in Venice. The structure is excellent and is not boring, is it? Done with local materials, as it should be. Now another building by her in Rudrapur. Look how the plan of the building is actually woven into the textile work that was recuperated, was recycled. Excellent, an excellent idea. It's I mean, the work of the architect all of a sudden becomes part of an artwork, and an artwork that came into being through recycling. Look at this. This is even it could have been a temple or some kind of a church for an unknown god, or known. Is she an excellent architect? Yes, she is. I'm talking about Anna Heringer. She is. I like to think that even Le Corbusier would have loved this work. If we consider that intriguing, not to say perplexing, fragment from Journey to the East that Le Corbusier wrote, where he says that he expressed himself against the anomaly of continuously questing for the new and demolishing tradition. Le Corbusier said something in this spirit. I didn't quote correctly, but this is the meaning of what he wrote. Is this person, probably the mother of a child in this school, a romantic presence in this picture? Yes, she is. Why is it that we don't dress like this? You know, this is a poor area of a not very rich country, Bangladesh. But look at the attire of this person. She could have been a princess. Flowers painted. Do we see correctly here? Yes, why not? And these flowers painted here are much more innocent and more beautiful than those frigid flowers that an architect like Valerio Olgiati inscribed in the frigid concrete in one of his buildings. Yeah, these are the plans of this mud school. Very nice. And a quotation from the great Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore. Why is it that the schools in architecture do not promote quotations from poems to accompany the architectural drawings? Why is it that architecture students do not refer to poetry more often? Why? Well, this German architect does. Bravo to her. Nothing is superfluous here. You know, it's a building born from necessity, but is born sensitively from necessity. And I like the fact that textiles are very much present in the conception and the functioning and the reality of these buildings. Recycled textiles. You see here is the plan of the school hanging as an artwork on the wall, the mud wall of the school. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, how many architects today have the chance to have the plans of their buildings so sensitively and so beautifully and so lyrically presented on the walls of their buildings, on the very walls of their buildings? I don't think too many, not even Sir Norman Foster. Is this a nice way to do structure? Yes, it is. It makes sense. You understand how it is made. It is made with local materials. It is inexpensive. It works and it is beautiful. Yeah, here you might enter or exit the classroom through the, through the door, through the window, and then with the participation of a bench and so on. Why not? It's an excellent building. And look at the construction workers, women, ladies, dressed like princesses, bringing mud to the site work. I'm absolutely sure these people had more fun than most students in architecture, studying for years, laboring on all kinds of studies and exams and God and God. And these people are building a building, a glorious building, a good building. Look at this, without any of that nonsense. Look, even the animals, even the animals contributed to the, the mixing of the materials. They are builders too, the animals. Did they have the right to contribute to the making of the building? Asked the bureaucrat. Well, sorry, sir. No, no, they didn't. They didn't. It's true. We apologize. They didn't. We didn't ask for permission. Is this person here smiling? I think he's smiling. Why is she smiling? This one is smiling too. Why are they smiling while carrying some heavy things on their heads? Because they are happy. Because they do something useful and joyously, spontaneously. And here is a volunteer, coming perhaps from Germany or Austria, assisting. This is beautiful too, assisting the locals to erect the building. Very nice. Look, a proud builder carrying some water. Fine. The construction materials. And here are the architects, the master builders discussing. You'll see them building a fence with joy. Something we very rarely, we don't even employ the word any longer. Joy, joy, what is this? What does it mean? To have joy in erecting a fence. Look at the ingenuity of this pole, which receives the segments of the fence. Very nice. Is it perfect? Of course not. It's beautifully imperfect, meaning it's alive. Did they use T-squares when they drew this? Of course not. You saw the drawings of the architect. Now you see the young architect from Germany or Austria helping them, and everybody. They're like children discovering the world. And this man on the bicycle is enjoying himself too. And look at the construction workers, verifying the validity of the ludic space for the children. They are themselves children at this moment. And here they are, the architects, the builders, building a school, ladies and gentlemen, almost with bare hands. Bravo to them. Bravo to them. Bamboos and mud. Bamboos and mud and textile works. Now, a kindergarten in Zimbabwe in 2014, so 9 years ago, also Anna Heringer. Look at this. It's a kindergarten. It's for young children, no? Well, it should be ludic and pleasant and surprising, and also connected with the tradition of building in that area. And she did all of this. Who are these builders? Do they have the authorization to build? I doubt it. But there is structure, isn't it? I mean, there is structure. The building stands. Again, no T-square was used, nor AutoCAD, I imagine. But the buildings came into being. Zimbabwe, Anna Heringer. The beauty of discovering architecture and doing architecture with a joy it deserves. Why didn't she make the rooms square or rectangles? Why? Because children love circles. Look at these people. Can we see such a scene on any building site in this world? I doubt it. They're having fun. Do you understand, ladies and gentlemen? These people are having fun, and they're also doing something useful. almost with bare hands. Is this the most boring kindergarten in the world? Of course not. It's one of the most interesting. How do you explain it? Built with a very low budget by unprofessionals, amateurs who love to live and to invent and to discover. And look at the drawing of the architect. Is it fairy tale like? Yes, it is. What's wrong with it? Look another section through the building. Mud and grass. You know, is it sustainable? Because we love the word sustainable. Of course it is, very much so. So she did a drawing without structures. You can see it's written there, without structure. But does the building have a structure? Yes, it does. Does it stand? Yes, it stands. So it's possible to work in this way without the morose structural engineer, at least at first. Do the children enjoy it? I think they enjoy it, yes. And here comes the structuralist, the structure. Now the structure, maybe this is serious business. Maybe there was some usage here of the computer. Now we look at this work, which is more complex, and it is astonishing. Bamboo hostels in China, 2016. So 7 years ago, Anna Heringer built in China these remarkable pavilions, and they are remarkable by any standards, really. Just 7 years ago. And, you know, here, yes, there is knowledge. Yes, here there is, I imagine there is also the participation of Its Majesty, the computer. But look what she built. It's a hostel, but it could have been a temple. Well, here is a different kind of construction. Yes, here we have professional builders. It's a different story. But the work is astonishing in a different way. It's a little bit more so-called cultured, and a little bit more, I mean, less spontaneous. It's more, you know, willed. But it's still an excellent work that Anna Heringer was able to build. This veiled architecture attracts me very much because you have this second skin that is obvious here, and this second skin gives this allure of a you know, a mysterious structure, which is woven, embroidered. This ability to bring in, you know, the you know, fairy like atmosphere of an architecture that is almost out of this world or otherworldly is something to really appreciate. Here there is more rigor than what we saw in the previous works, but the work is still, you know, surprising. These are probably the most enticing hostels built, maybe ever built, because you don't even imagine that they are hostels when you look at them from the outside, even when you look at the drawings. I mean, how many hostels in the world look like this? None, with the exception of what Anna Heringer built in China. But she's a dreamer, but she's also a doer. And when you combine the two, the dreaming and the doing, this is what you get. You get interesting things, poetical things, things that say yes to life. Forget the war in Israel and Palestine and the war in Ukraine. There is still room in this world for beauty. No, I didn't say the correct things here. We shouldn't forget the wars at all. In fact, we should oppose them as much as we can. And it's very possible we can oppose them as architects through building well on this earth without insulting the earth, without polluting the air, without all the paraphernalia of abuse that accompanies so-called progress. It's possible. Look at this. This is a photoshopped image, or is it a, what is it? Is it a photograph at night, or is it a rendering? What is it? It could be all of them, you know. It could even be a night view of these hostels. It's amazing. This cannot be hostels, but they are. Now, the Deep D Textiles. Deep D, I don't know if I pronounce well, textiles crafted out of local textile traditions are designed for a decentralized production in the villages of Bangladesh, where the quality of life and space is both humane and free. Again, humane and free. Economic growth is generally linked to an increasing exploitation of resources. Deep D Textiles follows a different path. Instead of adding much resources to develop, they are grafted with time, skills, and creativity. This is another interesting enterprise of Anna Heringer. Deep D Textile is initiated by Anna Heringer as architect and Veronica Lena Lang as master tailor, and is realized in cooperation with the Bangladeshi non-government organization Deepshikha for rural development. More than 4 million people, women in particular, are living from the fabrication of textiles in Bangladesh. The objectives of the garment sector merely is to achieve the global standards regarding quality and labor conditions, or in other words, to cheaply produce a perfect standardized t-shirt in safe working conditions. But what is not considered is the wonderful and unique textile culture that Bangladesh owns in rich diversity, nor are the global technological developments taken in account that with great probability will replace some manual labor soon. You know, so she's working in different ways to try to promote the different spirit in the world. This project is a Bangladeshi-German cooperation between craftswomen, and designers, together with a Bangladeshi NGO, non-governmental organization for village development. It proves the possibility of an alternative made in Bangladesh production, participative, sustainable, decentralized, based on the local textile traditions, with every piece being unique and with a purpose to improve the quality of life. Let's read again, because we all need this. Participative, sustainable, decentralized, based on the local textile traditions, with every piece being unique and with a purpose to improve the quality of life. And now we see fragments of this textile that they obtain through recycling, that they reuse, you know, worn out textiles and create new patterns, bring in additions. And here we see actually the, you know, an architectural plan inscribed beautifully, I mean, from an aesthetical point of view, beautifully in this recycled textile work. And here are the artists. Aren't they beautiful? I think they are. That lady is laughing, another lady is smiling and laughing too. They all smile, they tell stories to each other, they do something useful, they are dressed romantically with flowers and poetically, and they work with their own hands, and they earn a little bit of money to go through this life. Isn't it nice? It is. And it's done in a rural environment with the simplest means. So it is possible to live, sensitively on this earth without, the great drama of, so-called progress. This is progress. This is progress. Sensitive progress, progress which does not involve, expensive resources and so on. And the creativity of people is used to the maximum. No wonder, as I said, they arrived at the Venice Biennial. They deserve to arrive at the Venice Biennial, very much so. Who cares? In fact, it's even better. These textiles were, affected by the passage of time. They were worn out and they were brought to life, to a new life, through the intervention of these ladies and these people. You see there the elevation of the building that we saw previously, woven into the fabric that they rescued, that they gave a new life to. Great. I have no other words. It's great. It's really a rebirth. It's a rebirth of the fabric, and it's a rebirth of architecture, and it's a rebirth of the life of the people in that area. It's a win-win situation if I am to express myself in a rather dubious way, because a win-win situation refers in general to the capitalistic way of evaluating situations. This has nothing to do with capitalism. This is a different spirit of cooperation, of appreciating everything that the earth gives, appreciating even worn out textiles, rescuing them and bringing them to the wall of the museum. Yes, because what else is the wall of the Venice Biennial? And we are going to see. And look at the richness of the fabric. Look how poetical it is. I'm absolutely sure Paul Klee would have loved them. This is what the artist and the architect should be, a redemptor. Because here it's a work of redemption. You are rescuing, you are giving a new life to something that was on the verge of disappearance. So the architect as a redemptor, why not? Maybe that's the highest an architect can be. And look here is the ludic channel space for the children in the school, which you saw before. And now it is inscribed in this textile work so skillfully and so beautifully. I wonder, why shouldn't students in architecture make their projects as poetically and as beautifully as this work we look at right now? What if you present your project in this way? Well, to do it on a fabric is not easy, but to work even on paper or who knows how, but with this spirit of innocence, of discovery, luminous, poetical. And here is the hand of the artist working with a needle. Very, very nice. Yes, this hand, which also thinks and feels, this hand is miraculous. Sustainability and beauty. Yes, now we are the Venice Biennial. Look at the the great works that these ladies did, you know, with the inspiration and the guidance of Anna Heringer. Are they sensitive? Yes, they are. Are they subtle? Yes, they are. Are they poetical? Yes, they are. Who taught them to do these things? They didn't go to art academies. They didn't have degrees in art. No, but the works are magnificent. Thank you.